But you know what we've realized over the years? Most of the time, the major issues get the most attention, but it's the minor things that cause the most destruction. Have you seen that in your own life? I'll never forget a phone call I received on the 4th of July. I think the year was 2017. My family was out of town visiting relatives, and we had a college student staying at our house sitting, watching our pets while we were gone. And this particular phone call was from that house sitter. It was about 8 o'clock in the morning. And when the phone rang, I answered and I said, hello. And all I heard on the other line was this: the animals are okay. I was like, oh no, here we go. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. They said, the animals are okay, but I need to let you know there is currently 12 inches of water covering the entire floor of your house. If you've ever gotten that phone call, you know that is a horrible feeling, especially when you're 1,000 miles away from home, which we were. We're 1,000 miles away. So all I'm thinking is, how in the world does something like this happen? I mean, seriously, did a tidal wave hit my house? Did somebody clog up all the sinks and showers in the middle of the night and just turn on all the water? I mean, was this a terrorist attack? Was it a practical joke? Like, how does something like this happen? I mean, you would think that with a major flood, there had to be some kind of major problem, right? But that wasn't it at all. See, this entire flood happened because of one rusty nail and one tiny water pipe. Our house sitter took a shower right before they went to bed. And they went to bed not thinking anything of it. And while they were sleeping, that little rusty nail must have fallen out of that little pipe, and water was running inside of the wall the entire time they were sleeping until they woke up to a flood in our house. You see, in our minds, homes are destroyed by hurricanes, by tornadoes, by fires, by some major storm. But the truth is, one tiny nail can destroy your home. You know, the Bible talks about something similar to that in Song of Solomon chapter 2, verse 15. That verse says, catch the foxes for us, the little foxes that ruin the vineyards, for our vineyards are in bloom. Solomon tells us in that passage, you know what kind of fox will kill your vineyard? It's not the big foxes, it's the little foxes. You see, in that day, the big foxes would jump the rock fence that surrounded the vineyards, and they would gain access to the crops. But once they gained access, the big foxes would simply eat the grapes off the vine until their stomachs were full, and then they would jump the fence and they would leave. But the little foxes, they would do it differently. They wouldn't go over the rock fence. They would tunnel under the rock fence surrounding the vineyard, and they would gain access all the same. But when they would approach the vine, they would quickly realize that they were too small to reach the grapes. So what would they do? Well, they would gnaw on the roots of the vine. They would chew on the stem of the vine, and they would essentially kill it, causing the plant to fall, which would give them access to the fruit. That's why Solomon says in this passage, the little foxes that ruin the vineyards. In other words, he's telling us, pay attention to the little foxes in your life. If you're taking notes today, and I hope you are, I want you to get this at the top of the page. Big foxes steal grapes. Little foxes kill vines. It's the little foxes you got to look out for.